This is a very emotional day for me, not because that song really hit me, but I see two of the men I truly love in the church building today. My Pawpaw, thank you. Thank you. One of the coolest dudes I know. Always suited and booted. This is how he dressed on a regular. This is me on special occasions, but this is him just going to cut grass. And then my father is in the building, Cornell Nichols Jr. There's no need to put him on camera because you see me, you see him. We look just alike. Like, Mari wouldn't even waste an episode on us. He was like, but I'm built like him, I smile like him, talk like him, it's just laugh like him. And whenever my mom was upset with my father, she can't look at me because I look just like him. But one thing I truly love about my father is that if you ask him about his kids, if you ask him about Cornell Nichols Jr. and Tyrell Nichols, he will humbly admit without hesitation how proud he is that his kids are doing at a higher level. Because any good father would want their kids to do it better than them. Any good father wouldn't have no guilt, wouldn't have no shame, will humbly admit that I'm proud that my sons turned out better than me. And that takes a strong man to admit that. I heard someone say that a good father sets the path for a child to run on. And I had to think about that, and the power of a father, the love of a father, want their kids to do it at a higher level, want their kids to level up from what they've been doing. I'm going to get to the sermon real quick, but just like I did my mother on Mother's Day, I got to do to my father on Father's Day, give him his flowers while he's here. Because I'm not one of those people that has to wait for somebody to pass away to admit how much I appreciate them, how much I love them, how much I appreciated all that they've done for me, imperfections or perfections. And that's crazy how some people wait for somebody to not be here to admit how much they can't hear you now. You should have did it while they was here. So while my father is here, it makes me happy to know that if I was in need for anything, even if he couldn't do it, he'll find some way to make it happen. If I was stranded on a highway and I called on him, he'll do whatever he could to get to me. That's what a good father does. And while you're here, Daddy, I want to say I love you and I appreciate you. I know you feel bad because, you felt like you made some mistakes, but I'm still here and I still love you no matter what. No matter what. You my father, I'ma always rock with you. I'ma always rock with you. When I look in the mirror, I see you. When I get on my family about being neat and being organized, that's all you running in my veins right there. I remember my daddy got upset when he took me to college and he was organizing my dorm. He didn't like how I organized my medicine cabinet. I'm like, it's a medicine cabinet. He's like, your pills go up here, your liquid medicine go on this level. I'm like, all right. And my mom was just, let him do him. Just let him do him. And this morning, I want to look at a father in the Bible who walked so closely with God that it literally saved his family's life. Like he walked so closely to God that God chose him to carry out a next level assignment that was going to change the trajectory of humanity. So if you with me right now, roll with me to Genesis. Hope y'all know where that's at. Roll with me to the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter. And I'm going to pull from verses 7 through 22. I'm not going to read that many, but my sermon will cover 7 through 22. So Genesis 6, 7 through 22. We're going to start at verse 7. And the Lord said, I will wipe this human race I have created from the face of the earth. Yes, and I will destroy every living thing, all the people, the large animals, the small animals that scurry along the ground, and even the birds of the sky. I am sorry I ever made them. But Noah, someone say, but Noah found favor with the Lord. This is the account of Noah and his family. See, Noah was a righteous man, the only blameless person living on the earth at the time. And he walked in close fellowship with God. And he walked in close fellowship with God. Noah was a father of 3 sons, and he walked in close fellowship with God. And now God saw that the earth had come corrupt and filled with violence, and Noah walked in close fellowship with God. So God said to Noah, I have decided to destroy all living creatures, for they have filled the earth with violence. And then verse 14 said, build a large boat from cypress wood and waterproof it with tar inside and out. And I want to go down to verse 22. So Noah did everything exactly as God had commanded him. Noah did everything exactly as God had commanded him. Any good father would do anything to provide and protect for their children. Any good father do all they can to provide and protect their children. If they had to fight, they will fight. If they have to provide, if they got to work 2 jobs to make ends meet for their family, they're going to work 2 jobs to make ends meet they'll do anything to provide and protect their children and their family. But I want to think about this. It's crazy when we think about providing as men, when we think about providing and protecting our family, we're thinking about, I'm going to have to knuckle up one day. I'm going to have to fight, or I have to work hard. I'm going to have to fight, or I have to work. But we don't think about another way that we can provide and protect our family is by walking in close fellowship with God. A father building a relationship with God is just as powerful and can provide and protect for his children by walking in close fellowship with God. We don't think about that. We're thinking about the work and we're thinking about the fight, but we don't think about our spiritual lives and how that can provide and protect our family. This man built an ark. So it wasn't in doubt Noah's work ethic. He built the ark. But the Bible didn't start with that. It didn't say about Noah's work ethic. It said that he was blameless, he was righteous, and he walked in close fellowship with God. That's the first thing it described about Noah and his father, being a father. He walked in close fellowship with God. It's easy to say you have a work ethic. You work hard, that's good. But how's your spiritual life with God? Because your spiritual life as a father is going to be what's needed when God hands you a next level assignment. See, Noah was given a next level assignment because of his relationship with God. Noah was given a next level assignment because he walked in fellowship with God. It's all about your relationship with God to be effective as a father. But what do you do when you get a next level assignment from God? And then as a man, you're trying to figure out how do you carry out your duties as a father and at the same time be obedient to God? Because building an ark is no joke. It's a next level. It's a great task. But also you don't want to neglect your responsibilities as a father. And so today I want to talk about fathering on a new level. Fathering on a new level. One of my favorite memories of my dad was my sophomore year in high school. I played basketball for Review Gardens, and we had a basketball game against Bashan High School. Bashan basketball program, top notch. So it was a big deal for Riverview. I think that was the first time Riverview played Vashon, and I rarely get excited and pumped up, but that game I was pumped. I'm about to play the best of the best. And it was a Friday game, and you remember high school Friday games, they be rocking. Wall to wall, they got security there because it gets off the chain sometimes. And it's Vashon, and it's Riverview. So, and so I remember before the game, I'm just seeing a crowd come in, and it was just packed. It was wall to wall, and I'm getting excited. And next thing you know, my daddy walked in. And yeah, I think that was his first high school game he ever came to. I said, oh, snap, my daddy here? Oh, I'm about to really ball out now. And it was funny because when he got in, he cheerful, just, smiling stuff. And he walked past Riverview section and sat with the enemy. I'm like, you came to my first game, you cheered against me? Like, because he graduated from Vashon. So he was there, but I didn't care. It was a good game. Yeah, I just watched him say he probably booing me at the free throw line. Like, But I didn't care which side he sat on. I was just happy that he was there. Because it was something about a father's presence. It's something about going to battle knowing that your daddy is in the area with you. It's something about the presence of a father. And just thinking about it when it comes to your spiritual life, when you're facing a battle, something about the fact that you know that God is with you, is in it with you, just gives you the courage, just gives you the strength, like, I'm going to rock this. I ain't about to let this battle get to me. Because it's something about the presence of a father that's important. Something about the presence of a father that's a necessity in life. And I'm going to say something. I remember telling Marcus, we was talking back and forth, but I'm going to say some stuff in this sermon that's going to be real. It's going to be the truth, and it's going to hurt. And I think about it when it comes to the presence of a father, no matter how good of a job a single mother can do, nothing can replace the presence of a father. And that's one of the many things I commend my mother on. No matter what happened between her and my daddy, one thing she refused to do was not to stop me and my brother from having a father in our life. She did a great job being a single mother, but she also recognized that raising two young men need a presence of a father. Because no matter how good of a job a single mother can do, you can't substitute the presence of a father. It's a necessity. And the presence of a father is very important. Very important, and we must protect it. Because there's some things that can interfere with the presence of a father. And the two things I want to talk about is one of the things that can interfere with the presence of the father is the next level. Because a lot of times we can get so caught up as men wanting to go to that next level as a father, go to our next level in our money, in our job, in our career, get that grind out here that we start unintentionally neglecting home. So that's one thing. The second thing that can interfere with the presence of the father, and when I say it's true, I've seen it. I probably haven't dealt with it, but I know male cousins that's dealing with it and male friends are bitter baby mamas. Hey, just bitter baby mamas can interfere when it comes to the presence of a father. All because the relationship failed with you and the father doesn't mean that he can't be active in a kid's life. I have friends, male friends and male cousins that desire to be in their kid's life, but the baby mama tripping. Let's just be honest. Is it real? Is it too real for y'all watching? Bitter baby mamas can interfere. Some women need to be penalized for presence interference. Need a flag thrown for presence interference can really ruin the relationship. And some women out there owe their children an apology because children are growing up thinking why their father don't love them and come around as much. And you need to recognize that, hey, you need to tell them, I'm sorry, I was being immature, I'm being bitter, because although that your dad failed as a husband does not mean he'll fail as a father. All because they failed as a spouse or failed as a boyfriend doesn't mean that they will fail as a father. And we need to protect the presence of the father from bitter baby mamas. All right, I'm going to step out of that one. But moving on. Fathering on a new level is going to require you to not let the next level interfere with your presence as a father. Because one thing I learned being a dad one thing I learned is that it's not really about the presents and the gifts you give your children. It's about the presence. You know, because no matter how many things I can buy Ava, and iPads, phones, all that stuff, it doesn't substitute the presence of me. You know, because kids will remember the presence, of course, but they'll remember the times you showed up to the basketball game like I just did. They'll remember the times you showed up to their spelling bee, their events, you know, and she's going to remember the times I was front row at the basketball games, not watching the basketball team, but cheering. It's the presence of a father. And sometimes our grind to get to that next level, we try to substitute that, but you can't. Because it's something about the presence of the father that really stands out in a child's mind. When they know their daddy coming around and they can count on their daddy to come to the events and be at home and helping them with homework and schoolwork. A real father would not let his grind take place of his presence. And in this text, Noah was given a next level assignment. An assignment so great it was going to require much from him. But how do you handle as a father getting an assignment from God, but at the same time you want to be active in your child's life? And I can say what helped me out, especially when taking on this responsibility as a pastor, and then being working in entertainment. They say about the grind, you need to be out here 24/7 trying to make ends meet. But one thing I learned is that God will never put more on you than you can bear. So you can do it. You can build an ark and be present in your child's life. You can be a CEO of a company and still be active in your children's life. Because God would never if God assigned this task to you, if God gave you this assignment, that means you got what it takes to handle it. He'll never put more on you than you can bear. And Noah was given a next level assignment. God knew Noah could handle this assignment because Noah exemplified the ability to adapt. Adapt. Being successful in your God-given assignment is going to require you to adapt. Adapt to the new level. Because Noah had the ability to adapt because he was raised in a family during dark times. It was an evil world, sinful world. Everyone around him was doing wrong, yet he was righteous. That's called adapting. In the world, but not of the world. He was walking with God while everyone else was walking with evil. The Bible said Noah was a righteous man, the only blameless person living on the earth at the time, and he walked in close fellowship with God. He walked in close fellowship with God. And this made me think of the first Psalm. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. So he walked in a dark time, in an evil time. He was walking with God. And it takes me back to the first Psalm. Blessed is the man who doesn't walk with the ungodly, or stands in the path of sinners, or sit. So here it is. It's an evil world. It's a dark world. And Noah is walking with God. He's in close fellowship with God. He's not hanging out with the people of the world. He's not adopting. He's not conforming into the world around him. He has adapted to the world around him. The ability to adapt is important on the next level. He didn't adopt, he adapted. He didn't conform into the world. He adapted. He was in the world, but not of the world. He adapted. He was in the room, but not of the room. He adapted. He didn't conform with the world. Because if he would have adopted the ways of the people around him, he wouldn't have been given this next level assignment. If he would have conformed to the world around him, if he would have adopted, he never would have stood out and found favor with God. But because he adapted, he was able to be a part of the world, but yet not be of the world. It's going to require us to adapt. As Christians, we have to adapt. We're peculiar. That's what the Bible describes us. We need to have the ability to adapt. But a lot of us want to fit in with what's going on the next level. A lot of us want to conform with what's going on the next level. God gave you a next level assignment. Now you're in rooms with people that's neglecting their family. Now you have adopted their ways and doing the same thing. You adopted, you didn't adapt. You're going to be in spaces and places and people doing wrong. And Noah was around people that was doing wrong, yet he was walking his light. We're supposed to be light in darkness. And he was a light in darkness. And because of that, he was given a next level assignment. I remember when I first started doing comedy, of course I do, by default, they try to put all clean comedians in churches. But I was one of the comedians that didn't like just performing in churches. Because that's light. You called to be light in darkness. And so a lot of times I would turn down, like I don't want to perform at that church, but I'll go down to this bar though. Walk in your light, because when you walk your light, you get people attention. Because I had the strength to be a part of the room, but not of the room. So a lot of times you just want to hang out with other light, but we're called to hang out in the dark. We're called to be light in the darkness. And so I be like, hey, y'all, look, I understand. Yeah, I know y'all want to perform at the churches. That's cool. But can we hit these bars up too? They want to laugh too. And I was in the bar, but not of the bar. I was able to have fun with everybody, yet still stand out, yet still walk my light. Now, how many of us are still walking our light in the midst of darkness? Walk your light. That's my message, y'all, is walk your light. Walk your light. Don't conform to what's around you. Don't conform into the darkness. Walk your light. And Noah walked his light in the midst of darkness, and he was given a next level assignment because he adapted. He didn't adopt the ways around him. He was around all types of wrong. You know how bad you gotta do when God say, I'm just killing everything. Birds, squirrels. Now I can understand squirrels. Squirrels get on my nerves, but yeah. He was mad at everything, yet this one man found favor because of his ability to adapt. This one man had favor because of his ability to not adopt the ways around him. Imagine what God can do for you if you just adapt into your environment. You hanging out with people that's doing wrong, now you start doing wrong. Now the Holy Spirit is speaking to you like you adopted the ways around you. You didn't adapt. Now you cuss as much as they do. God will never put more on you than you can bear as a father. Just need to adapt to the next level assignment. And to handle your next level assignment is going to require you to adapt, and not only adapt, but require you to balance. God will never put more. So you can bear it, you just need balance. You can do what God has called you to do and still be effective as a father, it just takes balance. The next level assignment is going to require balance. It won't feel like a burden if you just have balance. You can be a professional athlete and still be effective as a father. It just takes balance. You can be a pastor and have the call of the way to being a pastor and be active in your children's life. It just takes balance. Balance is the key. Balance is important. Because if you don't have balance, it will feel like a burden. Now you upset with God, like, why did you call me to do this? But God wouldn't give you an assignment that's going to purposely stop you from being active in your children's life. It just takes balance. One of my favorite Kobe Bryant stories, I read his book, The Mamba Mentality. My wife got it for me. And I was reading his book, and one story that stood out was when everybody know he was known for his work ethic. He'll work, practice, get shots up. But he said in the book that when he started having children, he switched things up a bit. And then one thing he liked to do was be there when his kids got ready for school. So he woke up early, got his morning workout out the way. So by the time he came back home, he already got his workout done. Now he's there for his kids. It takes balance. But guess what? He created balance. And I came across this quote, like, balance isn't something you find. It's something you create. See, a lot of us, your schedule just not going to magically balance itself. When things come into your life, like, okay, it can fit in 12 to 2. All right, this is where we're going to fit it in. No, you have to create balance. Balance is something you create. You sitting here looking for something, but it's amazing how many times we can look for an answer and keep looking for an answer, and God, like, create the answer. You too busy waiting for it to come into your hands. God, like, you have the ability to create what you need. So when I gave you this assignment, you think you can bear it. You just need to create the balance to bear the assignment God called you. So you can bear it. You just need balance. It just takes a little balance. A little balance would do you. Balance is important. Create balance. This one thing I want y'all write this down. Create balance. Balance isn't something you find. It's something you create. Because if you're waiting for balance to just magically, your schedule to balance itself, it's not going to happen. But you create it. You have the ability to create the balance in your life. It's not going to balance itself. Next level assignment is going to require you to adapt to the next level and require you to balance so you can succeed. As a child of God, succeed in your responsibilities as a Christian, also succeed in your responsibilities as a father. Just takes balance. Noah's decisions he made in his life, and I had to think about this, the decisions he made in his life when everybody around him was doing wrong, it protected his family. His decision to do right when everybody was doing wrong protected his family. His decisions, and this is going to really mess y'all up, right? Because it messed me up when I thought about it. His decisions as a father put him in a position to lead his family into an ark. His decisions as a father put him in a position to lead his family into an ark. So I want to ask all the fathers watching right now, all the fathers in here, are your decisions as a father leading your family into an ark? Or leading your family into a lion's den? Because if you think about last week, we talked about Daniel in the lion's den and how his haters set him up to get him thrown in a lion's den, but God delivered Daniel from the lion's den, right? And then at the end of that story, basically the kings threw the haters in the lion's den, but not just the haters, their family too. So their decisions as a father led their children to a lion's den. So are your decisions as a father leading your family to an ark to protect them or a lion's den that's going to hurt them? So when you conflicted and trying to see what to do, just ask yourself, is this an ark or is this a lion's den? Is this an ark or is this a lion's den? You know, you promised your kid, you promised your daughter a daddy's daughter date. She been looking forward to that. And the day comes and your job wants you to work overtime, double overtime, triple overtime. And you don't know what to do. Just ask yourself, is this an ark or is this a lion's den? Is this going to hurt my child or is this going to help my child? Ask yourself. Ask yourself that. The relationship between you and the mama not working out, and you didn't work out, and now you're in a new relationship, and the person you're in a new relationship with is trying to get you to turn your back on the baby mama and cut off the relationship with the baby mama. You need to ask yourself, is this an ark for my family or is this a lion's den? Because although you don't have to be in a relationship with each other, you still need to be cordial for the kids. So ask yourself, is this an ark or is this a lion's den? Is this going to lead my family to protection or is this going to lead my family to pain? It's an ark or a lion's den. When I think about everybody, a lot of people in the world that created fake businesses for a PPP. And now the government cracking down. And a lot of fathers, I want to ask you, if you created that fake business, was that an ark? It felt like an ark at the time. And now IRS cracking down, saying you owe us that $100,000. And now it's a lion's den because you. So ask yourself, is this an ark or a lion's den? Oh, it's so funny. So many people created those fake businesses. I'm sitting like, they can get you, right? But and now your family in a lion's den because of the choices you made. This an ark or is this a lion's den moment? As a father, think about it's more than just you. You are called to lead. So where are you leading your family to? You're gonna be like Noah, lead your family to an ark because you had a relationship with God, you walked closely with God? Or are you gonna lead your family to a lion's den because you didn't do what God wanted you to do? And you were just out here hating on other men. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of amens in the chat. Is this an ark or is this a lion den? So fathers, I want to say Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, biological fathers, stepfathers, foster dads, no matter what. Happy Father's Day. And I want us to take self-inventory on how we're leading our family. What type of example are we setting for our children? And when they see you, when they see a father, are they seeing a man after God's own heart? Are they seeing a father that's walking in close fellowship with God? Because yes, you can provide and protect your family physically, and with money, but another way you can provide and protect your family is by building a relationship with God and walking in close fellowship with God. God bless you. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Happy Father's Day.
Come on.
If this message has helped you in any way, pass it on. Pass it on. Seriously. You can pass it on YouTube. You can pass it on Spotify. Listen to it in a car. Pass it on through Spotify. Pass it on through Apple Podcasts. Don't be selfish. Don't be stingy with the word. If he has truly blessed you in any way, pass it on. Thank you.